afternoon. Welcome to Sky News. I'm Danielle. The world is globalized itself, and which one of us has to change ourselves to live in peace? The drastic level of violence, discrimination mark our century. Today's program is dedicated to multiculturalism. Nowadays, many people leave their country, searching for a better life. We decide to invite for an interview a person that felt in her own sky, the immigration. We'll see. Good afternoon. Today with us we have Natasha, an Ukrainian immigrant that will share with us her adventure. Hello. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
So tell us, how was your adventure?
Well, I came to Portugal in February of 2004.
So you had 11 years old?
Yes, I arrived in Oliveira das Mães in the first time in my life I feel the cultural shock.
But can you tell us what most shocked you?
Everything, the language, people's faces, the houses, the roads, the psychology, the climate, the Atlantic Ocean that I saw the first time, everything.
But it was a negative shock?
No, it was a positive shock, but sometimes it was very different.
Feeling the cultural shock with the language, it's quite normal, but houses, roads, psychology?
Yes, the houses and the roads are different, what I'm used to see. They have a different organization and architecture, and people are nice, and sometimes too nice.
And the climate, it's very different?
Yes, in Portugal and things like there are just two seasons, summer and winter. In Ukraine, all the seasons are determined. There are cold winters and hot summers. In Portugal, also suffer from acclimatization in the first times.
You also talked about the Atlantic Ocean. There are languages in Ukraine?
Of course they are. Have the Dark Sea and the Azov Sea and many rivers and lakes.
So what do you thought about Portugal beaches?
That they're green. In the north they are a little cold, but in general they're awesome.
Okay. I'm enjoying talking to you, but the time of the interview is ending. Thank you one more time for being here.
I thank you.
And now, David Cameron, England Prime Minister, talks.
Immigration is one of the top issues facing today's society. It is estimated that Labour let in over 3 million. Recent newspaper articles have debated about the number of illegal immigrants that are currently claiming benefits. I don't agree with taking more out of the system than you put in. In Spain, for example, they have a system where for every year you work, you save 3 months unemployment benefit, entitling a person to 75% of their gross pay should they ever become unemployed. How do you plan to tackle the issue of immigration and the number of immigrants that are already here?
Well, what I'd say to Paul is two answers, really. First of all, we need to put proper controls on immigration, and we've said that we're going to have a cap, we're going to limit immigration. It's under Labour, it was net immigration was in the hundreds of thousands, and that's where the 3 million figure comes from. We'd like to see that figure come down from hundreds of thousands a year, net migration, to tens of thousands a year. I think that is perfectly possible and achievable, particularly if we deal with the abuses. If you look at things like the student visa system, actually if you get rid of the bogus students, the people who aren't really coming to study, I think there's still plenty of room for talented international students to come to Britain. But the second half of the answer is actually not to do with immigration, it's to do with welfare reform. One of the reasons so many people came to Britain is because we left too many of our own citizens sitting on benefits, unable to work. We are actually getting private companies and voluntary sector companies to get and help those people to get them off benefits and into work with the appropriate training. And that will reduce the demand for immigration, which I think is a very key part to making sure we have a more balanced migration policy.
I wonder if people out there know what is discrimination and multiculturalism. With that call, our reporter Natasha smiled. Natasha, do you hear me? Natasha, do you hear me?
This is Daniela. We're live from the school Soares, Pasto. and I will ask people about the nation of multiculturalism.
What are the types of discrimination that you know?
To gay people and to thanks.
Sorry. What questions would you do to David Cameron?
Who's that?
Hello. Sorry, what questions would you do to Obama?
Why did you kill the fly?
Finally to the White House where this afternoon, as you saw earlier, the president sat down for an interview with CNBC's John Harwood and the fly.
To increase the transparency and the openness that has been the signature characteristic of our sorry, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start at I will contrast. Hey, get out of here.
That's the most persistent fly I've ever seen. Nice.
Now, where were we?
Was he on that list of the fly, the list of White House guests? And big deal, Mr. Miyagi did it with chopsticks. The fly was smooshed, wound up on the floor. After the interview, the president bent over and picked the dead fly up with a napkin. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be Jeff Goldblum.
What are the types of discrimination that you know?
Well, racism, xenophobism, age discrimination, sex discrimination, disability discrimination.
Oh, thanks. Hello, what questions would you do to Obama?
What he do to prevent discrimination?
Hello, have you ever suffered from any type of discrimination?
No, I think I didn't. Suffer from that.
Thanks. Hello, have you ever suffered from any type of discrimination?
All single day.
Hey, Black Man, come over here, man.
What about you?
Are you okay, man?
Thank you for being with us. With you, your reporter, Natasha Smak.
Bye-bye.
Back, and we will end with Meteorology Hour Special.
Well, the very wet weather over Spain, Portugal, spreading to France, rain over France, going to Germany, sunshine for Britain and Ireland, cold wind though. Oh, that was interesting. That was part of the East Anglia and the southeast. You can see though on this sequence how the frost gives way to a few showers running in, particularly over the northeast of England here. But sunshine is the main thing, cold wind and sunny, a fresh day, apart from two areas with a little bit of rain.
We come back tomorrow at the same hour here in Sky News.